Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. For week 4, we're going to explore the market structures and their level of efficiency. We're going to be looking at monopolies and perfect competition. Basically, these two market structures are the total opposites of each other. And when you look at these market structures, you're going to be focused on how they make decisions in our economy. That's very important to look at. This market structure is concerned, when you look at each of the market structures, you're concerned about the level of competition that's present and how the level of competition will influence the market prices. So now, you have some resources available to you right here. You have the PowerPoints from 8 and 9. You also have let me update that for you. You also have the discussion board this week. For the discussion board, make sure to focus on your in-text citation and reference, 3 to 4 paragraphs, content development, and make sure using proper economic terms to really develop your work. Then you have homework number 4 and quiz number 1. All of this will be due by Sunday night, so please make sure to participate. And if you need me to provide any additional resources, let me know, as I'd be more than willing to assist. Let's look at perfect competition first. The examples of perfect competition you would want to focus on are looking at a market where they sell identical products. And when you look at a market that sells identical products, the best example of this would be agriculture. When you look at agriculture products, it's very hard to differentiate between one firm and the other and what they're selling. Given that you struggle to differentiate this, you'll notice that firms will have to make decisions. And firms will have to take the market price, which is why these firms will be classified as price takers. You want to make sure to note what it means in terms of being a price taker. Let me see if I can find a graph here for you. So this right here is the industry graph. The industry graph is made up of supply and demand, and supply and demand determines the prices that are being established in the market. Here are examples of the firms and how they operate. You'll notice that the demand curve for a perfectly competitive firm is horizontal, whereas demand equals marginal revenue equals average revenue equals price. You'll notice that each place that you need to establish is where MR equals MC. That is called the profit maximizing point. At the profit maximizing point for all these graphs, you're going to draw a vertical line to establish the price in the market and the costs in the market. You're going to have 3 scenarios that are going to exist. You're going to have where price is greater than average total cost. So now, if a firm is selling a product greater than the cost to produce, these firms are earning economic profits. Whereas if the price equals the cost to produce, these firms are earning 0 economic profits, and they're earning what's called normal profits, which is earning what you expected. If price is less than average total cost, firms will be earning a loss. Now, firms have to establish if the loss is one that they need to continue to operate, or is this an area where they need to shut down. So the next area is going to be looking at the shutdown point. And when you illustrate the shutdown point is going to be where marginal cost intersects average variable cost right here. That's going to be the shutdown point right here. And when we look at this shutdown point, that's where the cost of production, the additional cost of production, equals the variable cost. And that's very important to evaluate. And that'll be a question that you might see on your assignment or quiz as well. If you look at this table right here of a perfectly competitive firm, some things I want you to recognize. You'll notice that the price that perfectly competitive firms will be exactly the same. You'll also notice that fixed costs will be exactly the same. They're going to be charging the same price for every additional unit that they produce because they're not able to differentiate their products, and that creates a lot of challenges in the markets. You'll also notice that the total fixed costs are the same. And when total fixed costs are the same, that will create advantages as well because you're able to estimate your costs that are present in the market. Now let's go to Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is going to be dealing with monopolies. And we look at monopolies. Monopolies are going to be classified as a price maker. And what that means to be a price maker, monopolies have the ability to set the market price that they're trying to establish in the market. You'll also notice that being a price maker means that these firms will be able to search for the best price that they could be established, and also being a price maker, that's very important because there's no competition. And when there's no competition, that opens up the market to many different price fluctuations that could be present. The other thing that we need to look at with monopolies is the large barriers to entry and exit. Basically, it's impossible for firms to enter the market with regard to a monopoly. They're not able to join the market in terms of monopolies, given that the barriers to entry and exit are extremely high, given that the government regulates them. And when the government regulates them, that creates many barriers that are present in the market. And you have to adjust to what's present in the market to make sure that competition will be restricted in the market. Couple of examples of barriers that are present in a market. You'll notice that barriers that are present in the market are going to be looking at a patent, a trademark, any firm that holds legal authority to produce a product. You'll notice that this is very important to evaluate in the market, and many markets will be established based off of this. When they hold a patent or trademark, that creates a lot more opportunities in the market that are present. You'll also notice that governments will have to protect the trademarks and the copyrights of these firms as well. And the protection of these rights is very important in markets. You want to make sure to protect markets to bring about a lot of market change. Now let's go to a graph of a monopoly. Here's a graph of a monopoly. You'll notice that the demand curve does not equal the marginal revenue curve. The reason why this exists that way is when you look at the demand curve not equaling the marginal revenue curve, for them to sell an additional unit, they have to lower their price, which is very important to note. So many firms will have to establish this price, and you'll have to estimate what the best price to charge is. But to sell additional units, you have to lower your price. You'll also notice right here's with step 1, MR equals M2. Draw the line straight up. Here's step 2, where it hits the price that's being charged in the market. And here's step 3, where you hit the average cost. That's the cost to produce. You'll notice that this firm is earning economic profits, which is very important. Firms that are present in this market can earn economic profits. And when you're able to earn economic profits, that creates more opportunities that are present in the market. So these are some of the concepts that we're going to be focused on this week. If you need any additional resources or if you have any additional questions, please let me know as I look forward to your effort.